You know what it is.
Yeah.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy.
Javari.
And we're back on the You Know What It Is podcast, man. Today, let's see where we at.
I want to know what it is Quick is trying to say.
Yeah, we in there, man. My guy Quick made it. And over to the left, we got SinCItyThrilla, man. Alex, how you doing, brother?
Good. How about you, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm living life. I'm seeing the shit that y'all got going. First things first, where you from?
So originally from, I always say Charleston, South Carolina. Originally from a town called Georgetown. Shout out G Vegas, LOL. But originally from there. Lived in Charleston for a lot of my life. Moved out here about 5 years ago.
Okay. What prompted the move?
A lot of just different lifestyle changes and different pieces and parts. Charleston is one of those cities that's beautiful and also ugly at the same time.
Yeah.
So getting a new restart, being able to come out to Vegas, kind of reset myself and do what I wanted to do and longevity of my life and future was always a good move to move out to Vegas.
Well, what actually do you do? You know what I mean? Let the people know. What is
Man, it's actually kind of hard. It's easier to explain what I don't do than what I do. I don't dance.
Okay. Do you sing?
Nah, bro, I don't sing.
Okay.
And that's about like it basically. I really, I do be trying to do art sometimes, but it's really bad. So I'd be telling everybody it's abstract, but it's really just because it's shitty.
Well, hey, man, you don't know.
to
Art
each
is
his own.
subjective.
There you go. There you go.
Man, all I'm looking forward to is being like one of them Jackson Pollock kind of dudes where I just splatter shit and get paid for that shit. If that can work out, that'd be perfect.
Bro. Nah, what you're doing is working out perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like, go ahead and let the people know you DJing?
DJ, I manage artists, but the big thing that most people are starting to kind of know us for is the event promotion, the working with artists, doing the big influencer pieces, and really trying to bring Vegas into the scene and respect it as its own city and its own entertainment capital beyond the Strip.
I feel that, bro. I feel that 100%, man.
And shout out to you and your team for that,
For real.
Nah, for sure.
So we know March 18th, we got a little Durk coming, right?
For sure.
Is this because this is the first that I'm hearing of, like, when you guys came out, you with Icon, right?
So Icon is actually one of our business partners, but it's Fire and Pier.
It's okay.
So those two pieces ourselves.
I got you. So in this, what was the jump off point for It's Fire?
So It's Fire, I actually joined with those guys. James Trav, DJ K&M, DJ Kilo, all of them. Darren, shout out on my guys.
That's my guy Kilo, man.
Bro, Kilo's a goat out here. Kilo's taught me a lot of what I know, him and K&M. They started doing shows, I think 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Little things. Kind of pushed it. We kept doing pieces and parts and pulled off Blast Halloween of the year of COVID. I can't think of what year all the years
2020?
blend together now. So I think
2019?
2019, I think.
2020, I believe.
Yeah.
That sounds right. Halloween 2020, we brought out Blast for first time to the city, and then everybody wanted to copy us and bring out Blast right after that. Shout out my guys. They know who I'm talking about. But no, we did that, and then just kind of picked up. That's when I got real close with everybody. We actually, everything picked up over at Hookah. If anybody ever knew about Hookah back in the day.
Listen. Once you said Kilo's name, once I seen your page, once I seen the It's Fire's page, I seen Kilo on that motherfucker. I'm like, wait, everything is going full circle because I had Kilo on here a while ago, and he was like a regular. He loved being up here, and I was like, all right, bet. But then, out of nowhere, I stopped hearing from him, and then I see this shit, and it's like, yo, he been busy, he been working.
Yeah, so we kind of locked in. We did the Blast show.
Yeah.
Turned around. The actual first time I ever worked with them was the first year. Well, I guess the only year they did. That's second year now. The only time they had done Day in Vegas.
Yes.
So we did a Day in Vegas after party. Actually worked with Icon on that show. Knew him from hooping at UNLV. Back when your boy could jump and shit.
When the knees was working.
Gym sponsor me. UNLV, somebody, I don't care. But no, I actually knew them back then. We kept working on stuff, and I got involved with that one in a minimal role, just basically passing out flyers,
Yeah.
doing those things. Ended up, I was at a radio station working over there, picked it up, ended up going over to Hookah randomly one night, and shout out my girl Helena, who's still the big sister of everybody in the group. Helena put all the pieces together, was like, wait. Everybody's been trying to link, and we just never knew each other.
Yep.
Kind of pulled all these pieces together. But we picked up, and then, in all honesty to you, we went out to Arizona, bit off a little bit more than we could chew. Took a partnership with some people who did not really know what was going on with Kalen for real. We took out T-Fly and Shorty Shorty. Was not the best show we've ever had, but in reality, it went well. It could have gone a lot worse. It didn't kill us. It made us stronger.
Learning experience.
We learned a lot of things, built a lot of good relationships. We already had great relationships with my guy T-Fly. Long time with T-Fly. Built real good relationships with Shorty. Shorty, still get to see him all the time, do a lot of things, watch his progression. And from there, just kind of, that was the moment when we all sat down, really realized, hey, we want to do this at the next level. The conversation came down to, in my connections with UNLV, of, hey, let's move stuff into the Cox. Talked about that, and then Rod came to the table and you said, you know what, let's fuck the Cox. We're going to go Thomas and Mack. We're going to speed it up by a year, put everything in there, and now we're looking here at Durk, and we got some crazy shit on the table.
Bro. So for the Durk show, you guys are actually going to have Chow and TP.
The dog.
So it's Chow, TP, Richie Bucks, and actually an unannounced special guest.
Do you know what it is?
That we're going to be bringing out for that one too. Ready for that one to be official. Hopefully tomorrow will be official.
Okay.
So as soon as that one's official, it's going to be fun. But yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Because my guys have been clamoring for what actually made you look at them and be like, all right, let me go ahead and, add them to this list.
So I'll shout it out both to James out of our group and for Icon with his pieces. Icon had actually brought him out for his little Strong Fest
Yes.
pre-piece that we'd all kind of worked together and seen that.
I thought that was the music festival because I had went to it.
So he's got the festival's on April 29th.
Right.
He's got a good lineup for that one too.
Yeah,
But he brought them out
lineup
there,
is crazy.
ended up pulling Lurk, Dylan, and a couple other ones to go to the actual festival. But ended up putting Chow and TP over with us for Lil Durk. And TP is, I'm going to tell y'all, like, we didn't even know TP made music for the longest time. But TP is a goat when it comes to promoting, selling tickets, doing all these. Helped us out big time with Rod's, been helping out for years with them all the way back to, I believe, Beat Banger days. They've been doing it a long time, so it was kind of like his time came back. It's full circle, and it's like, you're helping us, we're helping you.
Yeah.
Those kind of pieces, and that's a lot of that pickup. Richie, I've actually not had any interaction with Richie. I could not, if he walked in right now, I would not know who he is. But I've heard his music. It sounds good. It came from Icon, and I'm rolling with it. So
That's what's up, man. I actually been having the privilege of working with the guys for a little bit and seeing their trajectory. This is amazing. When it comes to actual selection of artists, what do you look for
a lot of what we look for
in local artists?
Comes to a lot of different pieces. So it's got to fit the show.
Right.
We've got a couple great artists that we've not used yet that I really want to use.
Yes.
And the only reason they're not on yet is just because it hasn't fit. It's got to fit. We want you to get part of what we're doing, and if you look at it, and this is going to take it off subject, but keep it on subject at the same time.
Gotcha.
Part of what we're doing is, if you look at the fact it's all ages show, it's to build culture in Vegas. If you talk to anybody from Vegas, there's culture here, but the problem is that culture is not unified with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everybody's got their own little cliques, their own little pieces. We're trying to bring everything together.
Yep.
We're trying to be the people who fix all of that to one thing. And it just hasn't happened for anybody else yet. There's been a lot of people who've tried. We're trying now. It may or may not work, but we're going to try it. So part of what we look for is, A, do you fit the bill? Do you fit who's going to be there? we want you to be successful at the end of the day. We don't want you, A, we need you to be successful for the show side of it. But B, we don't want you to come up there and embarrass yourself, because as much as that show can help you, it can hurt you more than it can help you.
Absolutely.
Like, and that's what's crazy is you can get up there on that stage. You know, Durk's 10K people, almost 13K people if we want to push it back. If you get up there on that stage and you choke, it's not going to help you. It's going to make it a lot worse than you'd ever been not having that show. Like, not all press is good press in reality. And the fact is, you come up, you fuck up, it's on you. Like, it's going to hurt you long term. And that's what we're trying to build through and make sure we're doing is, A, do you do that? Second, what is your stage presence? We've got a lot of good artists in Vegas who make good music, do a lot of good pieces, but they have no stage presence. They don't really know how to put their pieces together and really make it like, hey, we do this. This is who I am as an artist beyond my music itself. Like, you're a producer. How many times have you worked with an artist and they're like, I don't know what you got as a beat.
Oh man,
especially in Vegas, like
it happens way too often.
It's what you got,
just send me. Man, it happens a lot.
Send me a beat pack. I'm gonna see what I'm feeling today. Like,
yeah,
in reality, that works, but it's kind of like, who are you as an artist? What are you?
Like, what direction are you
brand?
trying to?
Yeah,
like, are you trying to make a cohesive album, or are you just trying to? There's a lot that goes into it, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know exactly, because that comes in a lot of albums were just thrown together. They make no sense. It's just like I took 12 tracks and just found 12 and didn't really take the time and just said, okay, here's what you get. Like, that's the reality of what it comes down to. And that's part of what we really look at when booking shows is, what is your branding? How is your branding fit? Do you fit the bill? Is this something that's going to benefit you, not only us? At the end of the day, like, we could do a show with no openers.
Right.
We don't have to put local artists on it. I think a lot of local artists forget that.
Right.
We don't have to have anybody on that show.
But see, I find that some of these people act like we talked about a little earlier. Yeah. They feel like they deserve the opportunity, when in reality, y'all don't have to do anything for them. It's a blessing, if anything. I'm giving you the chance to share your music and potentially gain all these new fans that might have never heard your music otherwise.
No, of course. And that's the thing, like, hundreds of thousands of dollars go into these shows. And these are not cheap shows. They're not something, like, for us, like, the money's great that we want to make money, we want to do this, but that's not what we're doing it for. If we were, we'd be selling slots. We don't sell slots. We've told people that 5,000 times. We don't sell slots. Quit asking to buy slots. You heard it. If you heard it here, quit asking to buy slots. We don't sell slots.
There you go.
I get 40 DMs a day. But that's the thing is, like, for us, it's not that. We're doing this out of love for the city. A lot of our team has grown up here in Vegas. A lot of us have personal connections to Vegas, even if we haven't, like, reinvented ourselves, rebuilt that stuff, really built our families, built our group and our brands and our personal lives here. And we want to see that growth. We want to see these pieces. So that's what it's looking back to, is where does Vegas connect back with that?
I do have a question for you, because I'm sure it'll come at some point, even though I don't necessarily understand how. Have you received any sort of, like, hate or anything like that? Because it's only natural that when you're doing something like what y'all are doing, because I personally think it's dope. Yes, it's really cool that Lil Durk is coming out here. But for me, seeing my dog Chow be on the stage opening for Lil Durk,
that's the part.
That's way bigger to me than Lil Durk coming out here.
That's what's making a lot of us buy the tickets, to be honest. A lot of us around here.
I'm going to go to see Chow as opposed to, like, Lil Durk is Lil Durk, you know what I'm saying?
Of course.
But I want to go see my dog Chow shine on the stage.
Yeah, so, and that's part of why we want to do it too, is like I said, it's the love of Vegas and showing what's beyond the Strip. Because the fact is Vegas got the money to bring whoever they want. I work for the Raiders. We almost have an unlimited budget. You've seen the halftime shows we did this year. We can bring whoever we want to. It doesn't matter. Like, if y'all saw the list of people that we have for halftimes that we could pick out of, dude, lose your mind. I lose my mind every day when it's just like, oh yeah, cool, we can spend this much. Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, go ahead.
Bring who
Have
out?
fun. Like, oh yeah, there's no budget. Just do what you want. We're like, okay. But that's where we're trying to build these pieces back. And when that all comes back to it, that's just, honestly, we get a lot of hate coming back from that is we've got a lot of people. I ain't gonna say no names, but I will call their ass out right now. We actually had an artist threaten to shoot up Rod Wave because they were not involved in Rod Wave.
That's
I'm shocked.
That's some
I am
hating
so
ass
not
shit
shocked.
right there,
So-
boy.
I am so not
It's
shocked.
But see, they don't understand that
we
now.
dealt with the same.
You'll
Yeah.
you'll never get anything.
And what's crazy is it came down to the fact it wasn't even just performing. It was wanted to perform at the tailgate, which wasn't even a thing. Wanted to be a part of the promotions. Like the fact is when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, we're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars every show we do.
Right.
Some of these shows coming up that we're going to announce soon, we're spending a lot more than hundreds of thousands of dollars. We're looking in the millions at points.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact is we're spending all this money. We involve who we want to involve at the end of the day because it is an investment for us.
As you should.
While it's not necessarily making money, it's about at least recovering what we spent.
Right.
And that's where it comes back to it. Like, if it's not bringing value to the culture, if it's not bringing value to the sales, if it's not bringing value to us as people and our energy, then it doesn't have a reason to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just kind of how our pieces are because we want you to come to a show. The main reason we do these shows, and we do them all ages, and a lot of people hate the fact we do them all ages.
I do.
Yeah?
You
And
just
I'm
want to
gonna
be able to
give
drink?
I just don't like having I don't like being in spaces where there's like too many young people. It makes me feel weird and
Yeah.
awkward. Not weird,
But
in
they
a
listen
weird
to the
way.
music too.
I mean, but look
I
at what.
understand
Here's what
that,
I'm-
but it's
here's
just
what
a
I'm gonna-
personal thing. Like I like hanging around. I like people around me to be around my age range.
But here's what I'm going to give you the reason we do that. The reason we do that is, did you grow up in Vegas?
Yeah.
So when you were under 21, what did you have to do in Vegas?
House party. That's it.
And how many times, if you look at these house parties now, bless up the glow. Look at even the hookah lounges. There's shootings going on. It's dangerous.
R.I.P.
We've
Yeah.
got drug issues going on. We've got a lot of ways to get caught up in shit easy out
Right.
here.
I mean, even at our
We're-
young age, we shouldn't have been doing what we were doing at those house parties. But we
No, of
had
course.
nothing else
And
to
the
do.
only thing is not just at that house party, because when you're at that house party, you know, some shit might go down. But what happens when you leave that house party? And the fact is, we're big on sex trafficking in this state. Like, we've got a lot of problems. And part of that is we have no safe space for kids.
There's nothing for them to do.
There's nothing for you to do other
They
than
took Wet
be
and
in the
Wild
street.
away, and it was
Wet n
like,
Wild is
you're.
still here.
Nah, they put some bullshit.
Wet
on
and
there.
Wild's now Cowabunga something.
Yeah.
else.
Cowabunga,
some
yeah.
bullshit.
I mean,
Springs.
but, no, I,
But yeah, they don't have anything for kids. They
There's nothing here for kids to do, in reality.
And
And to
kids
be
love
honest-
Lil Durk.
Like, they
I
love
love
Lil
Lil
Durk,
Durk.
they love Rod Wave, they
Two
love
kids
these
love Lil
pieces.
Durk.
yeah.
But the fact is that if we can bring kids to somewhere safe for them to be, to have a good time with older people, with younger people, Rod Wave, we had no fights. You can watch everything back. We had 0 fights and had 6,500 people in the building.
Yep.
Like, walked in and out. We had a great time. We had complaints, but we had minimal complaints, really, truly, for 6,500 people. And I think we might have got 20 complaints. Like, that's cool with me, you know what I mean? Like, you're always going to have some people complaining you're with that.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason behind it is, like, there's nothing for kids to do other than, like, okay, what do you do now? Like, I'm going to go get a fake. I'm going to try to go to the club. Okay, now, you know, do this. Okay, well, you know, my homie's over here selling this. I'm going to go buy this. Dude, we're running into this issue all the time, and nobody seems to care about the youth. This youth is coming, you know, they're going to be, a couple years from now, they're going to be sitting where you sit and saying, I don't want to hang out with the kids.
Ain't that the truth?
But the fact is like, really, truly, when you in there with 10K people, it don't matter if there's some damn kids in there. You ain't going to notice the
You
kids.
ain't-
Because
yeah.
you
you
notice
you
the
going with your
kids-
people anyway.
If
Yeah.
you noticing the kids, we doing something wrong with the show.
There you go.
That's the facts. Like, if the vibes is right,
Yeah.
because the thing is, we don't retailer it for kids.
Yeah.
The fact is that we do try to keep it, you know, if you've ever been to our nights at McFadden's, anywhere else, we try not to make it real ratchet, but we do not tailor the show back to the kids. But it is a safe space that if I'm a parent, I can bring my child and feel like my child is not going to get hurt, not going to have a bad experience. And that's part of what, yes, it is kids, but you do have to have an adult to get in with you.
Okay.
So there has to be somebody that's taking guardianship, 18 and older, that's taking guardianship over those kids because they can't just show up 15 little 10-year-olds and
So
have
like,
it
say 16-year-olds, like, do they have
still
to
gotta
have?
have 18. You gotta have,
Okay,
if you're
I
not
like
18,
that.
you gotta
I
have
like
somebody over
that.
18 with you.
I like that. For
And that's just part of it too. Not only on that, but on a legal issue, like making sure they're safe. Because if something, God forbid, does happen, we need to make sure that there's somebody there watching those kids, not just us.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're getting into this. So, speaking of safety and things like that, like, as someone who throws events, and when you look at what happened at Travis Scott's festival, is there anything that, like, when you look and you're like, oh, well, they didn't do this, they didn't do that, or like, are you just like, damn, that could happen? Like, how do you feel as an event thrower?
So there's a lot of pieces to it. First off, when you're planning your events, you have to plan to make sure that you're taking care of your people no matter what. At the end of the day, your customers and who's performing are the two most important people in that building. It's the safety of those two people. Even as a staff member who's throwing it, who's doing this shit, your safety almost comes after those people. Like you're making sure the patrons and the people you're paying to be there are being safe. So when you're looking at that, A, you need to make sure that you're planning, hey, if this is happening, how do I do whatever? B, I don't know if any of y'all got a chance to come out to the Rod show, but we actually had, I can give you a piece. Part of it is your DJs and your hosts, everything else having awareness of the crowd and having crowd control.
Absolutely.
We actually had, the only incident we had at all at Rod was somebody passed out on the floor. And within 10 seconds of it happening, Kilo was actually on. Kilo noticed it, shut the music off, told everybody to spread. We got people there, got the dude out in under a minute, back to partying.
That's what the fuck I'm talking about. That's what the fuck I'm talking about. Keep going.
And that's the thing, like, you've got to build those pieces to where you're paying attention to your crowd. It's always paying attention to your crowd, but that even goes down to these damn hookah lounges, to everything else. If you pay attention to your crowd, you can diffuse situations. You see arguments, you switch the music. You do this, you know what I mean? You got to pay attention to your pieces and parts, and that's where that old Travis thing comes back to is, all right, Travis. Like, not even Travis himself, because I don't put the blame on Travis.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, as a performer, you're probably not paying a bit of attention to what's going on.
Let
You
alone to a
might-
single person.
Right, and you might see it, but it's not really your thing that you're paying attention to. But as an organizer, as a producer, as any of these other things, you need to be watching that shit. You need to be able to turn it off. You need to know what the steps are, because the problem is you encouraged issues from the first jump. Like, you come to our events, I'm gonna tell y'all, you come to Durk, don't come on no damn bullshit, because there's a lot of security, there's a lot of pieces, there's no tolerance. If the moment stuff starts, nope, gone. Like, it's not gonna happen. We're going to make sure that from the moment you step on that property, you know you're there to have a good time, but your good time does not go over the expense of somebody else.
Right.
And that's the thing. Like, your good time stops at his bad time. So
Absolutely.
go ahead and
I
watch
like
that shit.
that.
So
Yeah, go ahead. So
Oh, sorry. I'm Shati. I know
Yeah,
I kind of
this is-
just sat
she
down.
just
and
came in.
jumped
you
in.
good?
started talking.
Yeah, all the viewers, y'all know me. I'll be a little late sometimes. But yes, I'm Shati. I'm part of the You Know What It Is podcast.
No, for sure. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. You got any more?
Yeah, this right here. I wanted to jump in. You were in the Air Force?
No, that's actually Mountain West that you've got up there. So the other thing I do out here, Quick's over here laughing. You hell, bro. It'd be your own people over here that be talking shit. You see this?
My bad. Bro.
It really be your
Why
own
you
people.
laughing?
Right.
Nah, so what that actually is one of the other things I do is entertainment production for sports here in the city and a lot of different pieces. I actually music direct for UNLV's every sport but men's basketball and football as of right now. Cough, cough. Be careful. I never know who listens to these things. I work doing entertainment for the Raiders, and I actually music direct for Mountain West Conference, a couple other conferences, some of the Shrine Bowl, a couple different pieces apart, NBA G League when they come to town, some stuff for the Aces, some stuff for pretty much anybody in the city that does sports. I probably have a hand in it some way, shape, or form. So.
All right. Yeah, I do want to ask this question, and I'm sure people are gonna hit you up about it. if they wanted to get their songs possibly played at one of these events,
How does that happen?
how would they go about doing that?
So-
Approaching you.
Really, truly, I post it all the time asking for songs.
Mm-hmm.
All the time asking for songs. I know you see it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
My biggest thing is if you're gonna send me music, introduce yourself. Whoever I'm looking
We
for.
were just talking about this a couple weeks ago.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Bruh.
I know.
You talk about a lot. Quick, I'm seeing you go.
I'm about to pull up a
People
DM
just
and read
hitting
it
you up
word
and be
for
like,
word.
Just
Yo.
hitting you up, just like,
They
yo,
just-
play my music.
Hey,
Yeah, they be like,
Yo, let me
Or
get
they
on the
just say-
podcast.
They just
They don't
send
even
you
say
a link.
hello.
Bro, I had a
It's
nigga.
like, damn,
I
nigga,
had
I'm a
3
person.
niggas hit me up
The
today
least they
talking
can say
about,
is
yo,
hello. Like,
yo, get me
good
on the
morning,
podcast.
perhaps.
Yo, I got this content. Yo, listen to my music.
how are you,
Bro,
maybe?
you telling me I get these all the time that's just like, hey, why aren't you? I literally have this person that's tried to fight me 6 times.
Six-
Wait, what?
6. So
Six
wait.
times.
So I feel like they were being nice, and then you said no. Then it was like,
I
I'll
didn't even
fight your
say no.
ass.
First
I
thing,
was like, I need to
I've
know how
never
it got
met
to
this
6.
person.
Right.
Naturally.
I've
Get
never
to
met this
6.
person. I've never seen them in my life. To be honest with you, y'all see, I don't post a lot of pictures of myself.
Mhm.
Like, really, truly, I hate taking. I'm behind the scenes 99% of the
Yeah.
time. Like, you look like we were just talking about all that other shit. I'm
Right.
producing content. I'm trying to connect those plugs. I'm not really the in front person unless I gotta be. Coming down to those, I had this person who hit me up and was like, "Check out my music." I was like, "Okay, I'm just gonna ignore that." Like, cool.
As you
thanks.
should.
Check out my music with a link. All right, whatever. Fuck off. Then he sent something back. Was like, "Hey, bro, how you doing?" So I had a conversation. I'm like this, and I'm like, "Okay, cool. Like, you know what you can have about conversation." And the conversation went on, and for lack of better things, he started telling me about his life a little bit and his legal issues he'd had, and how he just got out,
gave
and
a
you know
sob
all
story?
those other things, and how he needed spots. And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, bro. You know
TMI,
what?
my
Like,
guy, too.
send me some pieces. Let me check them out." And when I get some time, I'll look through it. And when we go back to doing some local pieces, I'm down to put you on. It's the same thing we were talking about off. Like, I don't want to put people in positions to fail. The first time you perform with me seeing it, if I'm booking it, is not going to be on a big stage.
There you
Right.
go.
Sorry, not going to be on a big stage. I got artists of my own. I manage multiple artists, and none of them will ever perform on a big stage without me hearing the whole set in front of somebody else first.
If you don't mind me asking, sorry to interrupt, who are these artists that you, I mean,
So I work with a few.
Mhm.
I have a producer out of Slovenia that I actually manage. Technically, his name's Vico. He does a lot of our stuff. I have Caleb Badane, who is a bit of a more slower, almost similar to a Rod Wave sound.
mhm.
I have Dior Lotto. I have Big Mo. I have Teddy Crooklyn.
Mhm.
I
Oh,
Teddy.
you-
I know Teddy.
Oh, I did not know you.
yeah,
He hit
Are
me
all
up.
your artists from out here?
yeah.
All of them are out here?
Mhm.
That's crazy.
Teddy hit me up and he was saying he wanted to work. Which is-
I was supposed to have Teddy on, but he had caught COVID.
You know, Teddy was supposed to come with me today, and he probably gonna hit me about 7:00. Be like, "What up, brother?
My bad, bro.
When we going?
when that podcast starts." And you know what's crazy is I'm sure he's gonna text me, and then I hope he sees this shit and laughs because that's literally what he's gonna hit me. Oh, bro, I didn't even remind me. It was like that's gonna be the conversation with Teddy. I work with a lot with them, and then I do a lot of media production for a lot of other artists. Some bigger artists, we do some content stuff with Shorty, some different pieces with them. A lot of my guys, and then just beyond that, I try to connect the dots with a lot of bigger artists. Actually, just got to finally take my guy Dizzy Wright out for UNLV.
And I
I
saw
saw
that.
that.
I saw that.
Yeah, that's been a big pet project of mine, is trying to get Vegas connected back with that as the person who's doing most of that entertainment. And as I'm slowly stepping into picking up more and more, I'm gonna tell y'all, it's a bitch when you a student and when you young trying to produce things at a school you go to school to. Because they don't believe for a long time. I shout out to all my people at that school who believed it. Took me going to the Raiders to get everything else in line and some other changes, but we finally got my guy Dizzy out there, and we're just getting started with that. We got all kinds of people. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, if y'all want to see some stars, go to Running Rebel Games next year. Go to Running Rebel Games on Wednesday because we're bringing Gucci Road back. I can promise you that.
Let's get
Promise
it.
that.
Let's
It's gonna
fucking
be
Let me
fun.
find out.
You know what it is.
What stars we gonna see?
Oh, you got
Yeah, I was about to say he can't do that.
I
Yeah,
Right
mean,
now.
he can't give up all the
You're gonna-
sauce.
I mean, closed mouth don't get fed.
I'm
Gotta
gonna promise you, you're gonna see a lot of good pieces. And look at what we booking.
Mm-hmm.
And then look at where we booking everybody, and just keep that in mind when you think about the kind of stars you're gonna start seeing out. We got a lot of people who we build. Every artist we book, one of our biggest things is we build relationships with our artists. Like, tell you, we went out. Like I told y'all, we went out for what's it called? Shorty and T-Fly.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'll tell you, we've heard every damn T-Fly song that he's ever made, whether it's out or not. We know every damn T-Fly song. We know most of Shorty stuff. We've got great relationships with them. We try to build a good relationship with every artist we had, for whether it's rebooking purposes, whether it's anything, but also just that's who we are as people. We want to make sure, and it's not on no like, hey, bro, take me with you to no, it's not that shit. It's
Genuine
truly don't want to book people that we don't fuck with as people.
Yeah.
And we're gonna make sure that we're building that relationship. I'm gonna shout out my guy K&M, DJ K&M. That man really just be living in everybody's text messages. He's got. I'm gonna tell y'all some of the deals that man be making. I don't know how he does it. That man's a goat. We actually got a show we got to announce coming up soon here. That's a free show on UNLV campus. It's called Red Fest. It's on March 31st. It's in partnership with the radio station that I actually used to run. And we've got a solid 91.5.
Yeah, we talked about that.
I got a solid lineup for that people are going to be like, this is a free show. Nothing crazy, nothing, I say nothing crazy because we do Durk and Rod Wave and everything else we got on, but it's something that's going to turn heads for sure, and it's free. It's open to all ages. Come out, have a good time, enjoy it.
You got Yachty, you got Tori. Y'all got a lot of shit coming up. What is going to be the next big venture that you're looking at doing?
Festivals.
I mean, no, they're already working on that. I'm talking about like after this strong festival. Like, are y'all looking at getting something in the Raider Stadium?
So
are y'all looking at getting?
There's actually something in between Durk and Strong that's not announced.
Boom. All right, so shit.
Are
we getting the exclusive?
We give you a little taste and piece of it. Just remember, the Grammys are coming to Vegas on April 3rd.
They are.
Oh yeah, damn! I forgot about that shit. I don't
So the biggest hip hop promoters in the city can't let shit go down without showing love.
Speaking of which, bringing up the Grammys, are you familiar with Dawson and Angel?
Yeah,
that work over at Junction Sound.
Yeah.
All right, those two are my dudes, man. They got shout out to them. They got nominated for a Grammy.
Yeah, that Donda.
That whole journey for Dawson. I don't know Dawson as well as I know some of the people around him, but that whole journey for them to see that, big shout out to them. Big shout out to Jeremiah Rios. If you don't know who Jeremiah Rios is, as an artist, if you don't know that, you're doing something wrong in the city. If you don't know him, you're not an artist, then that's expected. But as an artist, you need to be looking up Jeremiah Rios and knowing that name. But him, Dawson, Angel, those guys have been putting in the work for a long time now. Mills is a really good guy to get started with for guys too. Like, they're all putting in that work and really creating something out here. But no, Grammys, tell you, just be ready for that one. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, we're gonna break the internet with that one.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be around, baby.
Yeah,
we about to be.
Right back.
You know what I mean? We about to be doing it big.
I'm gonna tell y'all, we got that. We got shows coming up. We have over 10 major shows for the rest of this year. Already planned.
Love to see it.
Sitting, not necessarily inked the paper yet on everything, but pretty damn close to it. We've got RevFest coming out. We've got stuff going on every week. Shout out to our new sponsors, Hardeen.
Shout out Hardeen, man. Smoke good if you want to.
Exactly.
Hardeen gonna sponsor. Okay? We like y'all, Hardeen.
Hardeen just tapped in us. We're doing all kinds of stuff with Hardeen now. Got a couple other sponsorship. Words. Words is hard today. These damn drinks. But we got a lot of other sponsors that are really starting to show us love, and the more sponsors we're starting to pull, the more we're able to do. Just know, I have a badge for Allegiant Stadium. I work for the Raiders. I can promise you we in the Raiders Stadium soon enough.
Let's do it, bro.
Super Bowl's coming.
The Super ain't that next year?
No,
2024. Yeah,
so 2 seasons away.
You got at the rate you're going now, which is like an awesome rate, like I just feel like by 2024, like it's just gonna be like fucking out of here.
gonna
By the time
catapult.
Super Bowl comes, like
You adding a
Man.
whole extra year to that. You can back that up a year and just put that at 2023.
Yeah.
what's in
Taking off.
2023?
I promise you by
lot of
2023 you're gonna see
Oh,
some
you said-
crazy shit.
He's saying
I'm
he's
already
saying it's gonna
knowing.
take off before the Super Bowl get here.
And I'm looking forward to it.
I am too.
At the Super Bowl, like
I'ma tell
please,
y'all,
the
like,
Super Bowl's coming.
In reality, it sounds like I'm giving you the cocky side of it, and it's not even that. We cried at Rod Wave. I'm gonna be honest with you. We all sat there and bawled our eyes out at Rod Wave, and it wasn't even because his ass was up there singing.
Up there belting y'all,
No,
got
no,
y'all in y'all
no.
feelings and
He's
shit. Nah,
I
he
emotional.
mean, shout out to the crowd first off, because he could barely sing that whole time because everybody else was singing every
They were
damn
singing
word
for
to
him.
it so loud. It was just like we had people complaining on Twitter, and I'm like, when y'all sing every damn word, he ain't gonna sing it. He just gonna let
he
you
just gonna let you
sing it
go.
every
Right.
time.
Know what I mean?
I mean, y'all
That's
paid
right.
to watch yourself sing the wrong way. I was like, he sang more in the parking lot talking to us. But no, it was lit. It was definitely something like we enjoyed because even that moment of seeing everybody sing and everything, we know it's gonna probably happen with Durk. It's just a different vibe, picking up everything. But that kind of told us, like, you know what, fuck it, we're gonna do it. We're just gonna keep going. Like, it's not a one and done. We got foot on the gas. I mean, y'all saw we jumped from Rod to Dirk. Everybody was kind of like, "Oh, what's coming next? Like,
Mhm.
something little."
Even, no,
Nope.
no.
And we're gonna pick it up right back. I'm gonna tell you, Grammy weekend's about to break everybody's mind.
Y'all are on a steady stream, man, and I see that shit. And are y'all gonna start? I mean, y'all see the shit that Kanye is doing with his whole album releases and stuff like that. Have you ever thought about doing not the stem player shit? Have you ever thought about doing like a live stream of any of your events and stuff like that?
There's been some discussion of it. The big thing is, there's a lot more that goes into live streaming events to make them look good than people realize. And I think y'all know that as a podcast. You've got
Trust.
3 cameras set up and doing all. There's a lot more that goes into it than people realize, and really being able to give that bandwidth, give everything to where it's nice, and then also seeing what that looks like. Getting to the point where we would like it to be something we could live stream, something we could put out, but how do you do that? We don't really want to charge people for that. How do you balance out, okay, somebody might not come, how do you balance out that money there? How do you balance out these pieces? And how do you make it to make sure the experience of being there is worth the money over somebody who could watch it at home for free?
Right.
And that's something that we'll get to as shows grow and as we do more. Right now, we're still establishing ourselves. Like, the fact is like, we were talking about this today. My guys James and Trav, 2 of our business partners, we were talking about it. Like, we're at the point now where everybody knows the business, but in reality, once you get outside of Vegas, we still are building ourselves, and that's how we're gonna look at it. Is you got to stay humble with this shit. Like, cool, we pulled off Rod, but there's people who's pulled off shit nearly as big and falling back off. Like, you got to stay hungry. You got to stay humble. You got to keep pushing yourself as an artist, as a DJ, as a promoter, whatever it is you're doing. So that's something that we're really looking into, but it's kind of making sure that we're not biting off too much and then having to fall back on it. Because once we start something, we don't want to stop. Like, we've got a lot of big things coming. Some permanent fixtures here in the city coming that you're going to be able to have these experiences every week. A lot of pieces where we're slowly starting to build that culture we want, and we don't want to back off of it at any point.
Got you. Because definitely us over here, you know what it is. That's something that we keep trying to figure out. Like, how can we incorporate the culture? Because everybody keeps saying they're for the culture or they're this and that, but when I'm seeing it, there's no inclusion. This couch is inclusion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We sit here, we sit with any and everybody damn near. And I feel like that's what the culture is encompassing here in Vegas. We need to start coming together, just like you were saying. Everybody's clicked up and shit like that. But then once we can fall under one umbrella, you know what I mean? I feel like everything would fall a little bit smoother.
No, for sure.
When you're moving out here, do you feel like you're feeling the love from the city like you should be?
I mean, I'm gonna put it this way: is like coming where I grew up, and Quick's kind of understand this. There ain't no love for you. There ain't no love for anything you do. You know, it's fuck you all day long. So to me, like, I don't expect the love. The love we get is cool, but the fact is, you either fuck with us or you don't. Like, we love. If you want to come here and you want to show love, we appreciate that. That means more to us because we don't expect it. Like, every single person that come to our shows, we care about them genuinely. Like, the fact is, at the end of the day, is we talk about, yeah, you get complaints, yeah, you get this. We do go back through and look at every single thing and figure out how can we fix that next time. How can we do this? How can we start to build these? Is this a natural issue or is this something that people are just being people about?
Yeah.
Like, what is the root of these things? And that's where that love kind of comes down for me, is like, we get a lot of love from the city. We get a lot more love from the city than I thought we would, especially at this stage, and especially like those pieces. Now, when it comes to the love that I think that we deserve more than we get, is some of the people that we put in places to succeed, and some of the bigger businesses that want to work with us that don't see the value of what we're doing as the value of what we're doing. That's where it comes to it, is I think once you're put in that place to succeed, once you have these opportunities, you need to be out there putting in footwork every single day. And that's something I'll give to Chow and TP. They've been putting in the footwork every single day. Like, if you own this bill, you putting in the footwork every single moment. But we've got artists who performed in the past. I ain't gonna say names. That had a little bit of clout to them, had a little bit of whatever to them, and you see one Instagram post, and that's it. And like, it's done. That's where I want to see that love. That's where I want to see that love, is the fact that I wake up. I'm a full-time student. I work for the Raiders. I work for UNLV, and I do all this stuff, and I do 4,000 of the things a day.
So there's absolutely no excuse for an artist, and that's me personally. Like, all the people I make music with, I tell them, is like, people like you and the people you work with notice stuff like that. Like, you have to post about, hey, tag me in this maybe, or show them that I actually care about what y'all are doing, and y'all see stuff like that. That's important. It's not corny or anything like that. That kind of stuff is important, and it goes a long way. You got to show them that you want to work with them, and then they'll see that. And then once even if you get the gig or whatever, you keep doing it. Like Chow and TP, they post about it every single day, as they should, because this is, up to this point, the biggest opportunity of their music career.
Not facts.
So why wouldn't you?
And that's part of the thing. You hit the nail on the head with that one. Like, you really got to come down to the fact of putting. I have people who will come in, post a post, like, hey, who should we work with on this? I might get them right then and there for one day. They're like, yeah, me. And then the moment that it's not a me situation, where are they?
You never see them again.
Never see them again. What's crazy, a lot of people don't know, is I have a magazine in this city. It's not huge. It's done a couple of pieces and parts. And everybody was going stupid on a post with that magazine.
What magazine? Tell us. Is it a secret?
I'll tell you off the.
Is it a secret? Is it a secret?
It ain't real secret, but it's easy. You can figure it out.
Because there's a magazine. I don't know if it's you, so I'm not like, I don't know. But there is a magazine, and I've been trying to figure out for months who's behind this magazine.
I would assume you're talking about Press Season.
Yeah, is it him?
Oh, it ain't me.
Oh, okay.
That ain't me.
All right, so I gotta figure out yours. You're my next task. You don't even have to tell me. I'm gonna figure it out.
But no way, they came crazy on this, and what was actually kind of funny is we're posting all this shit, and I put something out asking about DJs, and I actually had somebody get in the DMs of that magazine telling me, "Fuck you." Like, you don't know no DJs, you don't know nothing about the culture, you don't know nothing about this shit, you don't know nothing about yada yada yada. Like, you even from Vegas, like, or do you even know what's going on out here? Dude, I'm gonna tell you, I'm screenshotting this shit and sending it to my fucking group chat with my business partners because it's funny as fuck.
Why were they so angry?
They're doing all this shit, but what's funny is the same person is tagging me in my damn post.
Because they don't know what
they don't know shit that's going on.
Shut the fuck up.
And I'm like, I ain't gonna tell you whose this is because that ain't what this is for. Because at the end of the day, and that's where all the love comes back, is like, at the end of the day, the purpose that I don't tell people about that magazine, and you can figure it out pretty easy. But the reason I don't publicize it so much is because once people know who is behind something, it loses all of its weight to help other people.
People change how they approach it.
It's going to change
Now
how it's
they're
approached.
Because now they know it's you.
Yep.
Then let me be
It's
nicer.
fake
or
love.
whatever.
It's
Yeah.
fake
Well,
love.
it's either that or it's hate. And the thing is hate's real strong in this city between artists, between anything, but really between artists. You look at the fact that there's a lot of artists who won't support something just because somebody else is on it and not them.
There it is.
Wow.
You were talking about this off mic before, how artists don't in the city. Like, I feel like that's the thing. They're egotistical. There's a lot of pride. They don't want to work with each other. They feel like they've already made it.
Some of them.
A majority. Because a lot of the conversation, I have a lot of conversations with artists. That's all I do all day is talk to music motherfuckers. I talk to producers, I talk to fucking rappers, and I talk to singers. So fucking, they're telling me, I'm like, yo, why don't you work with so-and-so? Oh, well, yeah, I reached out, but, no reply. So it's like, I don't understand what the whole thing in Vegas is with not working together, not collabing. A lot of you have great sounds. A lot of you can mesh on a track together, but you just choose not to, which is kind of weird to me.
Because they are, a majority of them think they're in competition with each other,
and they're not.
But they're not, because, like you said earlier, none of us are worth a fuck right now. To be honest,
No, that's facts.
No, that's a fact.
No, none of us are worth of like. What is this ego that you have where you feel like I'm above the next person and none of us are worth a fuck?
I think what's lost a lot of times by artists is the fact that the best thing for this city and for every artist's career here is going to be for an artist to blow up
Period.
in the city that is continuing to push the city itself. Like, the problem is we've had artists blow up
And then leave.
and then leave the city and then not claim the city.
Yeah.
And the thing is like, everybody, like, I'm telling y'all, Clubhouse. I don't know if y'all were ever on Clubhouse.
I was there when it began.
Javari was.
Dude, I was on it for that whole COVID piece.
Oh, trust.
I'll tell you.
Trust.
Lived on it.
They
Lived
have
on
nothing
it.
to do.
Had nothing else to do. Lived on Clubhouse. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, is part of what I learned there is that nobody thinks that Vegas has any culture behind it when it comes to this. Nobody thinks that Vegas has any scene for music. People are like, oh, you go to LA to record stuff? Like, oh, you live in, like,
Right.
that's where everything kind of comes down. The problem is that building that here for people to understand those pieces is one of the biggest pieces that every artist should be working towards. Because the fact is somebody else blowing up before you does not matter. I have an artist that I used to manage, I'm still really close with, that for the longest time, anybody who was doing something he wasn't doing, he hated on it. And I said, look, dude, it's not helping you. At the end of the day, it's not going to help you build your career. The fact is you're wasting energy worried about somebody else that you should be working on your own shit. Don't be upset. Like, even when it comes down to, and we were talking about press, we were talking about all these things. I know people who won't click on a link for an artist that gets an article just because they don't want to show love. Not that they don't want to read it, but it's because they don't want to show love and put another view on that article.
That ain't the most hating ass shit I've ever
But what's crazy
heard.
that backs it up, though, is if you go and get an article on that same site, and the way SEO works and all this other shit works, if you'd have clicked on that link before you got your article is going to get more views and get pushed harder by the search engine because you went to that site.
Yep.
Like, I'm going to tell y'all what's stupid as fuck is that we spend all this time trying to go to fucking, what's that, World Star Hip Hop and all that other shit. Like, oh, you made it on World Star, you made it, boy. The fact is that that shit really don't help you no more. Everybody trying to get verified who goes to World Star, it helps you a little bit, but it don't help you at the end of the day because World Star is a purchase platform. Everybody knows that shit.
Right.
Like, I'm going to tell y'all straight up. Y'all getting scammed on a lot of that shit. You paying $2,500 for some fake views on World Star to get you nowhere.
Are people really even still checking for World Star?
No, that's the thing is.
No, they're checking for the Instagram now because WorldStar.com, nobody's going on there.
But even the World Star Instagram account, I don't know anyone that like.
I mean, unless it's
checking
memes.
hard.
Unless it's memes.
Yeah, memes.
Yeah.
You're picking your memes up. And the thing is like, that's where in reality, when you're trying to do those pieces, working on the smaller smaller pieces and parts is going to get you farther. And that's where supporting other people, like even coming in here and doing a podcast with y'all, it ain't going to hurt you to watch somebody else's time. All it's going to do is, if it helps build your platform, and then they get the opportunity to come in, guess what? You now get more views.
See, but then at the end of the day, you hitting it on the head, man. Like that's the thing that I be trying to tell these motherfuckers. If they would understand, like you use the platform for what it's for you to get your voice out there, for you to let people know, yo, this is coming up, this is coming up. You know what I'm saying? Like this is giving y'all some shit, and I don't understand when motherfuckers come. Never mind. Let me just stop.
Well,
No, go ahead.
Nah, because now I'm sounding like I'm complaining and shit.
Well,
and I don't want to
I do
fucking
have
do
a
that.
question for
what people
everybody.
Go
ahead.
What
You
people
go
don't
first.
realize is, as just being an artist, people care about you as a person first before your music. Like
No,
if
that's
they don't
facts.
like you as a person, they're never gonna listen to your music.
Ain't that
So
true?
platforms like
Especially
this,
if you're a local
where you can
artist.
go and
don't
display
care who you
your
are.
personality outside of the music, this is almost more important. It might be more important than your music in all actuality, because you get to show who you are outside of the facade of music. So people like artists, some artists don't get that part. Cause I'm not. If I don't like you as a person, you can make the most fiery music in the world. I'm never gonna listen to it because I know you as a person, and you're not it.
No, that's facts, and I think that gets lost a lot. Before you ask your question, is personal branding beyond your music. Your brand is everything. The fact is that, and I'll give this. Teddy and I just had this conversation. Give me mad, I'm out here talking about his shit, but Teddy and I just had this conversation. He just walked for my guy Tuesday. Shout out Tuesday. Shout out Chaz doing his thing. Just walked in his fashion show, and I said, dude, that's a lot of big things. And he's like, yeah. And he just kind of looked at me. And I'm like, that's bigger than your music right now. I said, because you're going to get opportunities doing things like that before you're going to get opportunities doing this. Where'd Drake come from?
Degrassi. Wheelchair
Exactly.
Jimmy.
Exactly. Where'd Ariana Grande come from?
Nickelodeon.
Exactly. Like, look at all these people. They built their brand before they built their music. And if they didn't, it took them a long time. How long Lil Durk been making music? Let's like.
I wouldn't
Dirk
know.
been in the game since
Forever.
like at least
Right, and then
2013. I knew who Dirk was like
When did Dirk really become a mainstream hit?
Like
within the last
2018?
5 years.
2-3 years
I feel
ago?
like within the last 5 years.
It's been even
It's been
shorter
a while.
than
He
that.
was putting in work for a while.
It's been like the real fact behind it is we're in an Instagram age, we're in the social media digital age,
Pocket.
where the fact is I can pull up my phone right now, scroll for 30 seconds, put my phone away, close it, 10 seconds later scroll, and never be able to find those posts again.
That's a fact.
Like it's not gonna pop back up. So you've got to be able to grab people's attention and hold their attention in an instant. Like the fact is you start scrolling, the moment you scroll, you're gonna pass something. And the fact that in algorithms, all these, you've got to have people wanting to come look at you as a person and see what you're doing before it's just gonna come to them. Because right now, it's a pay to play game. It's a pay to play game. I think it was T-Pain talking about that, like how much it is to break a record, how much it is to do all these things.
Yeah, 'cause
Artists,
you gotta promote.
artists don't understand that shit. They think if I'm gonna put a song out,
If
I could put it on my Instagram story, and now everybody gonna see it.
But they don't realize marketing is more important than the song, damn near.
That's the part.
Marketing is the biggest part. If you don't market your song after you put it out, this is another conversation I have with like people that I do music with. It's not just, oh yeah, we made this fire ass song, but how do you plan on marketing it, and how can I help you market this song? Because
Oh, I wish the cable guy was here. It's fucking. This is the reason why we fucking. Because okay, there's one thing that I also do. I don't just do podcasts. Like I write treatments and shit like that. I'm trying to be a producer for real.
No,
Like,
for sure.
I want to definitely fuck with. I don't want to direct. I want to definitely not direct, but I can write a treatment. I can figure some shit out. So I have been writing music videos lately for a lot of local artists. I wrote one for Kenyatta. I wrote one for.
shout out Kenyatta, that's my brother.
I wrote one for Chris. I wrote several for Chris Crooks. I wrote one for Northtown Red. There we go. But that's a lane that people don't really utilize. Is I got somebody who is able to put my words into a vision And now,
No, what you talking about? Music videos is supposed to just be your homies with your guns, with a bottle of Henny, and somebody got that big ass 2-liter Sprite. I see you with it over here. You better hold that bitch up.
Hey, yeah.
Every single video be looking like that.
Every
Every
single
single
video.
one.
And you know what? I'm gonna tell y'all right now that if Vegas blew up, if every artist in Vegas blew up right now, the Rio would have more Grammys for music videos than anybody else in the world. Because it's like, man, I rented a room at the Rio or the Palms tonight. We gotta go shoot this video.
For sure.
The Palms for
Palms
sure.
place, guys.
Palms Place. God damn, can
And
y'all
that's
stop
the-
going there?
Everybody makes the same motherfucking video.
The same thing.
It's like, and shout out to my guy Cam. Cam and I were just talking about this the other day. Shout out by Cam J. Boyd. And actually, Visionary Ignacio, too. We were both talking about
hey.
both of them.
That's my
We were both
guy.
said that's all part of our media team. And I was talking the other day with them. We got a group chat. We were bullshitting. I was like, you know what's crazy? Is I'm like, other than a few of y'all, I see the same fucking video
Bro.
every fucking time. Like I can watch every day. I watch my music video,
I wish
and I get to the
Cable
point
Guy
where
was
I
here,
don't watch
bro.
the music video.
Yeah.
Not because I don't want to support, but because I've seen the
It's
same
the
damn
same
music
shit.
video.
You're standing in front of the car. You ain't got no bitches. You got fucking 5 niggas smoking this blunt, the same blunt.
They all
And they be
passing
like,
the same
yeah,
blunt.
like, what the fuck
Bro.
is this, bro? Like, there's no creativity. So that's why. I want to tap you in with my guy, the Cable Guy, because he works out here. He does some real creative shit.
Awesome cinematographer.
Very beautiful.
No,
You
for
know what
sure.
I'm saying?
He worked with Nike and all.
He worked
For
with
sure.
Nike and them. But I definitely want to tap you in with him.
No, for sure.
But we got some
Ignacio, that's-
we got some visuals coming. Kenyatta got the coffee music video coming soon. But besides that, me working with these artists and learning that there's no real marketing behind them, because the only person that I've ever met that came to me and was like, yo, I have a marketing strategy before I even heard any songs was Chris Crooks.
Yeah.
He had a whole layout of how he wanted his whole shit to be, and that is understandable, because I really wish that artists would come to me like that a little bit more, or anybody,
And
to be
that-
like, yo, I
that's
have
one
a
of the people I was
rollout
gonna
plan.
mention on too.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Anybody that'll go buy tickets to our show and send me proof of that shit, I will send you a 30-day song launch. It's 15 days before, 15 day after of exactly how to launch your song. Because that's what we do. Like, this is literally what we do. And what's crazy, like, back it up, and I know I'm plugging myself here, but
No,
it gives
just
you the
do
thing
that.
is that I'll give you the two ends of it, of why artists don't market in this city. First off, they feel entitled.
Right.
I'm entitled to it. Like, oh, I go to the party and everybody knows me. Well, that's cool. Do they know you as a musician? Like, do they know your music? Do they give a fuck? You buying that bottle and they all drinking out that bottle? Sure, they all your homies. I don't blame them. You know what I mean? You bought that bottle of 42, man. It's the same one for your music video, but you got to take that bitch home and fill it up with some water. But
Facts.
But the fact is
You telling on them.
I don't give a fuck. I really could give a lesser fuck. I have no filter. And that's part of my thing is y'all can tell I start stuttering over my words as I'm like, oh, let me filter that. That don't need to be said right now. But the thing is that there's that. And then I'm going to tell you, like, I've put out before, and part of, like, Capo and I've talked about this. Shout out my guy, Chill Capo.
Shout out Las Vegas Scoops.
We've been talking about this shit. A bunch of us have been talking about all this over the years. Just like people don't want to spend the money to do things, thinking that we're trying to put bread in our pocket. The fact is that yes, sometimes I'm trying to put a little bread in my pocket, but the fact is it's an expensive game. Like I can show you exactly how much I have to pay for every single thing. And sometimes, you pay for it and that door opened and you could keep going for that same door again and again. There's certain platforms where, I'm going to tell you, there's certain platforms for press where you pay, it's a hefty fee for one time, but after you paid it, you got it. You can keep going. You can keep putting every single thing you do on that press site. And it's one of the biggest press sites. I'm going to tell you right now, if you go on Google, you type your little name in and you got that press site, it's going to be in the top 3 every single time. Every single time. I don't care what it is. You type in anybody that is big, actor, anything, it's going to be in the top 3 every single time. But the thing is that it's an investment up front. People don't look at it as that. They're like, can I get it for a discount? And I'm like, it costs money to give to you. And the second off is, and that's the thing. Yeah, exactly. You got to invest in yourself. You got to be able to tie these pieces back in. And like, I'm gonna tell you right now, we run, even for our shows, we run a fuck ton of money on marketing. We run a fuck ton of money on press. We run a fuck everything. And the reason being is that's what it takes. You can't just do this shit for free.
Yeah.
Like, people don't realize, like, I've got 10,000 little flyers sitting in my truck right now. And we probably already gone through a whole box of those, another 10,000. And the thing is those cost a lot of money. Banners cost a lot of money, but you need this shit to sell. Like, we go out, I'm telling you, like, right now, if you're an artist and you ain't out doing footwork, okay, cool. You don't want to do footwork because you're looking at, like, the 90s. I don't want to push my CDs and all this shit.
What do you consider footwork?
Cool,
like being outside on your feet?
The fact
Like
is
CDs
being
and shit.
outside on your feet, whether it's CDs, is out the building right now. CDs is not really picking, but
See, even if you have these,
3
just
by
give
3
them
flyers,
those.
a 3x3 flyer with a little QR code on it. Hey, check this out. Yeah. Boom, it's easy. It's easy. Wait, the fact is okay. I might buy 10,000 and get 1 in 10 return on somebody who's actually going to do it, but it's still 1,000 new listeners. Know what I mean? I spent $300-$400, but you know what? I got 1,000 new listeners out of it. Cool. Y'all rather pay for fake Spotify streams, for fake
For the numbers that you can post on your story and shit like that. Some weird ass shit.
They out there doing
Nicki
it too.
Minaj would
They
never.
out there doing it.
And
Sorry.
Nicki Minaj would never what?
Would never pay for her
pay for
Spotify
fake
stream.
streams.
Don't be fooled.
So
Nicki Minaj does not do payola.
I guarantee you.
I guarantee you she does.
I guarantee you.
Doesn't. Nicki has
You are
said
naive.
herself.
It's the industry.
Them other bitches do payola.
I'm gonna tell you
Nicki
right
don't
now.
I can tell you, I
Just
can
because
tell
she
you,
told you she doesn't
I can
do
tell you I
payola?
want a Grammy.
Yes,
That doesn't make
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Other bitches do payola, not her.
I can tell
you
you
know
that
what?
I want a Grammy.
You know what? That's cool, but I'm gonna give you this right now. We're gonna adjust
Give
the
it to her
mic to make
straight.
sure you
Give
get
it to her
this.
straight.
When you sign to a label, and everybody wants to be on a label. First off, label, y'all stupid. Like, you selling your soul a lot of times as a new artist to go to a label. I don't know why y'all all want to be on a label until it makes sense.
Because they front
But-
money.
But no, but it's a loan. It's a loan.
They don't understand that though. A lot of people who are broke don't
They think it's
understand
money.
that.
They think the
Exactly.
label gave them.
But here's where we're going to tie this all back in. When you go to a label and they want you to come out, when you drop that track and your track is #1 in the US in the first 5 minutes, do you really think that at 12:05 that every person in New York went and bought your fucking track at 12:05? No, let's really talk about this. Let's really talk about this.
The
Let's-
bars.
You think
No.
30 million people listen to that shit at the same
The
time?
bars
Woke up at
are
12 o'clock.
very
No, but I'm going
hard.
to tell you right now, is part of that is that this is a pay-to-play game.
There you go.
I don't got no hate for you for doing fake streams if you were doing it in a piece. And the thing is that everybody's gonna look at me like, what the fuck did he just say? The fact is that everybody that is big does it. Yes, it can hurt you if you are not doing it right, but if you know what you're doing, then it can help you. But the thing is that they use it to drive your algorithm. It's not the save all end all. It's not I dropped this song a week ago, I'm gonna go buy 1 million streams. It's, hey, this song came out. It comes out at midnight, and it's 11:58. I'm going to go ahead and send all my RSCs, all my UPC, everything in. The moment this drops, it's going to come out with streams because now all of a sudden it's charting everywhere.
But that's
And when you go
cheating.
through-
I don't like that. I know you say it's smart, but like
No, but I'm saying like it is
Yeah, but
cheating.
they
But
don't
that
give a
is,
fuck.
I'm going to tell you
But
right now,
Nicki said she
that is
doesn't.
what label. Yeah,
that's
Nicki
part of
don't, but I
marketing,
can
too.
guarantee you her team do.
She probably doesn't even know about it. That's the thing.
The problem is she probably do know about it. The problem is she's not doing it, so she's gonna tell you, I don't do it. She don't do it. I can guarantee you, it's Quicks over here that's managing her. That's
On
just
me,
like,
typing some shit in.
Right.
But I'm gonna tell you what's
Doing
even
all this
crazier.
shit.
What's even
Yeah.
crazier past that, and I'm gonna give you
It's
this
the
too.
labels.
No, not just even the labels. It's also the fans.
Mm.
You just said the Barbs. They're gonna
I
do
was
this.
just
Oh, so
like-
they give her the fake
I don't know if you
streams.
saw my face when you said that.
Is that what you saying?
You know what?
I'ma
You
tell
really
you
got a
right
point,
now.
because
They just
we
turn that
all-
shit on and
I'm
just
gonna
leave it
tell
on.
you
I
this
swear
shit
to God,
right
I've
now,
done
and I
that.
can tell you this. From,
I swear to God, I've done that. I've played a song on repeat.
oh,
for
it's not just you putting it on
hours,
repeat.
like-
Because even you putting it on repeat is still technically it's organic. It's it's in a weird spot, but it
Shout
is
out to you, by
organic.
the way.
But the thing is, you a real
Yeah,
baller.
that's what I'm saying. Shout out to
She
you.
said, I'm gonna make sure she
We
get
need
these
more
streams.
fans like you. for
Hey,
real.
But
what
you
I
do
tell
that
y'all
for the
earlier,
local
though,
artists.
look who called me right now to
Sid.
ask.
You should answer.
You should answer that
Shout out
shit.
my boy Teddy
You
Christmas.
should answer
What am I
that shit.
about?
What up, Teddy?
Where you at? You doing the pod?
I have the next.
Yeah, I'm at the podcast. We
Nah,
actually
you go
recording
ahead.
right now, and I told him you was probably gonna call me in the middle of this shit.
Quickstopher.
Here, hold up. I'm gonna put you on speakerphone. Shout out the podcast real quick, and I'll call you back.
What's up?
They can hear you on speaker.
What up?
What's good? What's good, man? Shout out to y'all, man.
Hey.
Hey, he funny as hell.
All right, Teddy, we'll hop.
Couldn't make it.
I didn't make it.
All right, Teddy, I'll holler at you in a bit.
All right, hit me.
All right, bye. I told y'all that shit was about to happen. But no, I'm going to tell y'all this, and this comes from social media management side of it. Like I said, there's not much I don't do. Actually, somebody who's really close with me that I have all the inner workings of her social media and the way it works. I can tell you right now that she made a post 2 days ago. And she did not go buy followers. She did not do anything, but she all of a sudden jumped 3K in followers. And we're like, what the fuck? And I went and looked through it, and I'm like, these are all fake. I called her, and
They're fake followers?
yeah.
3K?
So I'm going to tell you right now is that she's a professional athlete, and somebody went on and bought followers for her. For her. Whether it was the team, whether it was a fan, whether it was something else. Yeah, they can all themselves on all the way. But
all you got to do is, because it's really simple to
That's
be
a
honest.
grand gesture right there.
No, it's not.
No, it's not, because it hurts you at the end of the day.
Well, it does.
Because you have
if you
3,000
got
more
500
people.
likes and you got 50,000 followers, I'm going to be like.
Yeah, because what people don't realize, when you buy followers, all it does is hurt you. Because let's say you bought 10,000. It's not even that. You bought 10,000 followers, and you really only have, let's say, 300. So the 300 that are real are going to like it, but Instagram sees that you have...
Not even just that. So the way the Instagram algorithm works is your post is pushed out to, nowadays probably less, but it was 1 in 10 of your followers. So you're getting 10% of your followers to see how, because we took away the timeline where it was, what's most recent. It's now what's popping. So just going to say, okay, I pushed it to 1 out of every 10 people. How did it do in that group? I'm going to look at that first group to decide if I'm going to push it to more groups. The problem is if you've got fake followers and you push it out and it doesn't hit that 1 in 10, if it hits a fake 1 in 10, you're not getting anything.
So people with fake followers, they don't really be ending up on the Explore page.
They really don't end up in an Explore page.
Because their algorithm is fucked up, because you have 10, like you said, you have 10,000 people, but only you get...
And it's not even just the likes, and you can go back through and look at how many impressions they got. Like sometimes, I'll be honest with you, sometimes people be hating. We post flyers and people hate, but I can go back through and show y'all. I get 6,000-7,000 views per post every time. All right, they might hate on it. That's cool. I don't really care at the end of the day. But the fact is that if you're not doing it right, then you're not going to get those pieces. And that's where it hurts in that aspect. But with music, Spotify hasn't figured out how to. It has, but it hasn't. If it's done in a certain way, it doesn't hurt you. If it's done in another, it flags you and you're going to actually lose over time. If you're getting fake streams, you're getting this, and it's not in a way to where it's driving organic traffic, okay, then Spotify kind of picks it up of like, I'm going to tell you right now, there's plenty of Aegis artists. And one of them and I got into it about a year ago talking about some shit. And I pulled their Spotify numbers and literally showed them the spike every day they would drop a song. It was a straight up and down line, and there's nothing. And then think, nothing. Think, nothing. That's not going to naturally happen. The fact is, yeah, you're going to have a spike that day, but you're going to continue a progression of, ups and downs, and it's not going to be 500 plays every day. It's not going to be this. It might be 500 today, 600 tomorrow, 1,000 one day. For a local artist, that's the reality of what you're going to come down to. And they don't understand that. And that's where, when you go to that next level and you're trying to get booked, you're trying to do these things, people are looking at shit. I'll tell you right now, like, we laugh. I'd rather have an artist that's getting 1,000 organic streams, 500 organic streams, and making good music and really putting that work in, than somebody who's buying 1 million streams per song. Shout out the person who threatened to shoot up Rod Wave.
Damn, that's crazy.
Buying 1 million streams per song and not getting any following behind them. I don't give a fuck. Like, y'all gonna put that shit out. You're gonna hit me up trying to kill me.
That's fine. You ain't saying no names. You know me. I usually be like dropping names and shit.
And nah, I'm just, and it's not even, and I ain't on no scary shit. They know who I'm talking about. It's just because, at the same time, I ain't trying to hurt nobody's career beyond themselves, because power to your hustle. But no, that's the reality of it, is that can hurt you in the long run with those fake pieces and those fake these, but there is pieces where it does work out.
Right.
So I have a question for everyone here. You said at one point, like, there have been like Vegas artists who got on and then they kind of like never looked back, never came back, like didn't do shows here. So what about, I guess, Las Vegas or maybe the artist do you think it is that's causing that? Because when I hear rappers from Atlanta, I can name every freaking suburb or I can name their streets. That's how much they shout their shit out. That's how much they put their city on, their neighborhood on. So, like, what do you think the difference
what's crazy?
is?
So I'm gonna even put it. Some of them Atlanta is not actually from Atlanta too.
I mean, it's not
That's
Atlanta,
just
but
where they-
I mean, it's.
I'm gonna put you
Atlanta
this
has
way. Quicks,
I live
you
in
remember
Atlanta.
this
I
shit.
get it.
I'm gonna see if you remember this shit. You grew up on the East Coast. You remember when you went to elementary and high school? Was everybody from New York and Atlanta?
Man, that happened to you too.
Okay, but listen,
Everybody-
y'all not counting them
Everybody from
suburbs.
New York.
That tell you how I grew up. That tells you exactly. Everybody gonna
But
tell
if
you.
them suburbs be counting though,
No,
like
but they
so a
ain't
lot
from.
of people.
They ain't never
But
even
they're
been to
not
New
from
York,
New
Atlanta in
York.
their life.
Oh,
They're from
they're
fucking-
lying. They're lying.
They ain't,
From New York, the state.
they ain't even from New York, the state. They from
You
exactly
said
where
they
you
ain't never
from.
been to New York.
You been.
But-
I'm gonna tell you. I
It's
had
sick.
people that I was in preschool with. Through in high school, they telling us, yeah, I'm from New York City. I'm like, I'm from the Bronx. I'm like, bro,
How?
you was born like 3 fucking rooms down from me in the hospital. We had like 2 days apart. Like,
yeah, bro,
Like,
I know you
I've
your
known
whole
you
life.
ain't from no other place. What the fuck you talking about? It was just we were talking about that shit on Facebook the other day. Some homies from back home was talking about that shit. And I was just dying laughing because they're like, "Y'all remember when everybody was from Atlanta and New York
That's
and ain't
funny
never
as
been
hell.
to Atlanta or
That's
New York?"
funny as hell.
Like that's where it comes down with Vegas is that Vegas does not have a recognizable piece for what it does for music outside of the strip, the party, the stripper, know what I mean? Like that's it, but there's no culture of success in Vegas for musicians.
Absolutely.
So
For a lot of stuff.
a lot of it is, hey, if I go and claim LA, I go and claim Atlanta, I go and claim wherever the fuck I want to claim, I'm gonna feel like I get more success because now I'm coming from a successful place. And even though like it might not be, what's crazy to me is like a lot of people want to claim they struggle more than they struggle, and that's the thing. Like I grew up in an area that had a lot of low income stuff. Personally, I grew up pretty well off for that area. Like I didn't grow up rich, but I grew up not having to worry about having a roof
It was
over my head.
okay, you know.
And the thing is like that's that. My involvement beyond that was on personal decisions, maybe stupid decisions at time, and then some things later in my life when situations happen and my situation changed. But in reality, my struggle is not the same as everybody else's. And the thing is like I can tell you, like, yeah, I grew up doing this, that, and another, but the fact is that I'm not going to sit here and tell you I had to for a longest time because there was a lot of my life I didn't. And that's the thing is that Vegas, when you come down to it, and it's going to really probably piss some people off too, is the fact that Vegas has hoods, but Vegas really doesn't have that kind of hood. You know what I mean?
I agree with you
Like,
100%.
They got hoods. There's a lot of people who are here that are transient people that bring their hood with them.
Mm-hmm.
But there's more street gangs here that are not even gangs. It's that group of middle schoolers who
Cliques
decided
is what we
to.
call them. If you're not a gang, like if you're not a blood or a crip, then you're in a clique. That's what we call them through middle school, through high school.
Oh,
It's
but
a lot
I'll
of
give you
gangs there. You're
even
a
some
clique.
of those people who are claiming some of
And
those
then
other
Bloods and Crips
pieces.
is not that deep out here. I mean,
It's
I do know.
in
some,
reality,
but-
like you from the East Coast, you've seen the way that shit is on the East Coast.
Like we was talking about
do
earlier.
you consider
motherfucker
North
was-
Carolina the East Coast?
You can't get any further east.
I consider it the South.
than North Carolina.
That's not the South?
I mean, it
It's
is
the
the South.
Southeast.
It's the East South. I mean, the
It's
Southeast.
southeast.
Yeah, it's southeast.
Oh, Lord.
It's right there on the
It's
Mason
definitely
Dixon.
Somebody
east.
take that
I ain't
bonito.
never said no.
Nah, it's
I
right
done
there on
said
the
the
Mason
East
Dixon.
South.
So you call it
Geographically,
south, you call it
it is the east. It is the east, but I consider it the south.
It's the South, but the reason I don't say South a lot of times is when I say South,
They assume Atlanta.
they assume
Alabama.
fucking Alabama, and they're like, oh,
Mississippi.
like what up, buddy? You done come down? No, shut the fuck up. Like we come from like, especially you grew up. You know, I grew up speaking Gullah Geechee my whole life, and it'll come up when I get mad. I tell you, you get mad as fuck. It'll come out because
You speak Gullah Geechee?
But we come to that piece, and that's the thing is
Florida?
everybody.
No,
Gullah Geechee
South
is
Carolina.
that is the Sea Islands of South Carolina right there. I'm telling you right now.
That's
Boy,
you
like
gotta learn.
there's a lot to learn there, but the thing is that's why I don't say South a lot of times because people automatically assume like, oh, you went to cousin fucking Alabama. The fuck? No.
First of all,
That's understandable. You gotta
don't
understand.
nobody say cousin fucking Alabama. That is
Alabama.
That's Kentucky. That is Kentucky. No, they're
Cousin
not.
fuckers are in
Cousin
Alabama.
fuckers are in Virginia. Exactly, in Kentucky. Not Alabama.
How you know?
They
I
Because
was about to say.
look, I'm offended now.
Oh,
I
you from
lived in
Alabama?
I was in Mississippi for years, and Alabama too close to Mississippi for it to be cousin fucking. That's Kentucky
That's one of
and
them places too.
Virginia.
With no
Where's
cap.
one of Mississippi?
I know it's the fucking
Don't ever say no shit like that in your life. Don't ever disrespect Mississippi like that in your life. They
I'm gonna
do
say
not
the
fuck
whitest
their
shit you
cousins
ever heard.
in
You ever seen the
Mississippi.
movie Sweet Home Alabama?
They don't fuck their cousins in Mississippi.
You got cousins right now in Mississippi mad at you.
What? No,
Your
they don't. They don't.
your
be
cousins
fucking their
out here
cousins
like,
in
damn, they
Mississippi.
were
That's
my
some-
damn shot.
That's some Kentucky shit, not no Mississippi shit.
They was like,
That's
damn,
why
I thought I was about to get some.
Yeah, exactly.
But shut
I
the fuck
shout out to your
up.
cousins. They gonna cry now. You know it's okay. You just shut their dreams down. But
That's some Kentucky and West Virginia.
hey, I ain't gonna
shit,
tell you. Like I
okay?
grew up. The town was small enough in the town I originally grew up in. You don't fuck nobody because it might be your cousin. You don't know. Like
Listen, I had trouble out here fucking people because everybody in Vegas is my cousin.
Vegas is
So it's like-
no, not.
oh yeah,
I mean,
you
no, I
out
am
too. I just hope you know.
Right, but see, no, I'm sorry. I wasn't disclaiming the cousin part. I was disclaiming the I've had trouble part. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying? Y'all get what I'm saying? Like, because he was like,
So you,
I've had
so
trouble.
you ain't got no problems fucking your cousin.
No.
That's that Mississippi one.
Shut the fuck. Okay, y'all know what I meant.
Shout out to all
We
the
are
cousins.
cousins.
We don't.
Commercial break.
All right.
Commercial break.
Hey, next topic.
Right. So, I want to ask Alex, because it seems like I've been in here having fun. Did you have anything else that you wanted to let the people know or to tell the people that are listening right now?
I did have one question for him, man.
Oh yeah, you didn't even ask that question.
You don't even know what question.
The
I'm
other
gonna
question.
ask.
Did you ask that question?
I
though?
don't even know what question you talking
Did
about.
you ask him who he liked?
Oh
As
shit!
an
I
artist?
did not ask
Yes,
you that
as
question.
Vegas artists, who do you like out here that you've been seeing other than the artists that you actually work
I
with?
had another question to ask, but
Let me hear that one first, and then give me a little bit of
I
time
was
to think
gonna
about it.
ask you about your album that's coming out.
So
You
the
make
album
music
mixtape piece that's coming out. I don't
Like
make
DJ
music,
Khaled.
Oh.
but
feel you.
damn, I'm getting fat, but I ain't that fat.
Hey, he was talking about the success.
I was talking about the success.
just-
and
DJ Khaled works out every day. We see him. work
Yeah.
Shut your ass
You work
up.
out every
Hey,
day.
she works
DJ
out
Khaled
for
work out
cousins.
every day. I can see that nigga eating a burrito.
I also see him working out every day on his Snapchat.
Was that in Mississippi?
Whatever,
But no, so part of the tape, Quicks and I were talking about it the other day, is just kind of, it's been a pet project of mine for a while. It's something that is a chance for me to try to give back to the city a little bit. It's not a one-time thing, and that's what I've been trying to explain to artists who are kind of getting pissed off about it right now.
Yeah.
In reality, this shit's been going on for 2 years. Like, it's been a 2-year project that has really made a lot of strides, but not for the fact that I want it to be perfect. I'm OCD as fuck when it comes to anything that's going out. I want everything that I'm putting out to be a good reflection of whatever it is that I'm doing. And if I'm not going to do it right, I'm not going to do it at all. That tape is a chance for me. We were just talking about like going out shorty. We've got Lil Durk going on. We've got Rod Wave we just did. We've got this other show to announce at UNLV. We've got Grammy after parties to announce. We've got all these other pieces. If you go through and look, according to Songkit, because I go and DJ, do the pieces, I'm on tour with every single artist that's going through that in the eyes of Spotify. And it's a chance to not only do that, but when you're going through and looking at their stuff and you see, hey, they're on this, who else is on this? It's a chance to see that music and put people in those places.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm really trying to get to, is be able to show people with this tape, and the reason it's taking so long is I want to show people how to do it right. Like, it's not a mixtape where you're coming in and paying me to be put on. Nope, not happening. It's not a thing where you're sending me done songs. No, like we were just talking about this. I've got producers making beats to do this thing, but when it comes down to it, is I'm taking an executive producer role in it, from the beats to. I'm gonna be honest with you. We were just talking about this the other day. I'm looking through beats right now to try to find the other 12 beats. We dropped one song off the tape, and that song I sat on for almost a year and a half. Literally a year and a half, making sure, do I actually want to put that out? Yep. Okay, cool. And we're looking at it as I'm going through myself and my team and listening to every single beat, choosing the beats. Okay, what gives me that feeling? Like, the fact is that when you look through beats, you can look through hundreds of beats, and there's that one beat that just says like, ooh,
like it just speaks to you.
It spoke to you. And then I'm looking at those and saying, all right, instead of saying I want to have these 10 artists on the track, let me build beats to them. No, it's let me go for the beats and find those beats that really attract me to them, and then say which artists work well on this. And not only that, but my thing is no artist will have a solo song on that track, on that entire thing. And my big push is I really don't want any artists that work together all the time to work together on that album. It's to put people who might not have been together, you might not want to work together, you might not know each other. It might be an accessibility thing of like, hey, you're just starting out and you're big, but let me be that connector. Let me be that piece that pulls you together, because I'm looking for it sonically. I'm looking for what's going to play well on radio, what's going to do well on TikTok, what's going to do well on shows, what is something that's sonically pleasing that can actually take people somewhere versus just putting a mixtape out that I'm going to tell y'all right now, mixtapes 99% of the times are scams. And it's because, hey, I want you to pay me $2,000 for me to make any money you get off of it. No, artists get their royalties off this shit. Like, in reality is the only money, quote, quote, I'm making off of it is enough to pay for the production of the track. You know what I mean? And it's a percentage. You're getting that same percentage, whatever, and disclosed with the artist, like, they're getting more percentage than I am. Producers are getting more percentage than I am. Everything that's coming to me is going back to marketing it more, because I don't want to drop it, have fun with it for a week, and then 3 months later be like, all right, I dropped it, here's another one. No, it's something I want to continue to market as it goes on and take all of that income from that album, and for the longevity of that album, continue to dump that money back into it to push that marketing on it.
See, we need to talk offline, because the same shit that you talking right now is the same shit that I've been preaching to these motherfuckers all day. You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, I'm ready to just talk. You got anything else you want to talk about? Y'all got any other questions?
Sentence. You stopped in the middle of your sentence.
No, because I want to have I want to talk offline. Do y'all have anything else y'all want to talk about
offline?
On podcast?
Did they you in the episode like that?
Yeah, it's been an hour and a fucking half.
You said I want to just talk. Bye.
Yep, that's exactly what I want to do.
Hey, Vari, I got a quick question. So you mentioned Summer League, right? So Quick and I went to Summer League this past summer. And we were sitting there or whatever, and we were thinking it's like it would be dope if some of the local artists would get to perform like at the half times on the Summer League and whatnot. Because a lot of local people go there.
So part of my whole goal with this, and where we were just talking about Dizzy Wright coming out and doing his piece with UNLV, it all has to start somewhere. The fact is that UNLV right now, I'm gonna tell you, I push everybody's fucking buttons. I have a bunch of old people who hate me. I have a bunch of other shit that I drive people fucking nuts with music when we do the games. I'm gonna tell you, y'all come to a women's game on Wednesday. I got y'all tickets. Come to the game, enjoy it, and see how we do it. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, it's crazy, it's loud, it's fun, it's something you don't expect, and that's where we have to build that culture. Just like I'm talking about building the culture out here, is my hands are in a lot of different things that people don't know about. And speaking on that right now, like, UNLV has slowly started to give me the keys to be able to do this. With the change of what they're seeing, with the new AD, with everything else, the change is coming to allow us to give artists a platform, to give these things. But it's also, it's got to fit, it's got to be right, it's got to make sure everything's coming in the right directions and like, okay, this makes sense here. Where is this? And why is it happening? Like, at the end of the day is the problem is everybody who's come in the past and tried to do pieces of those was trying to have a monetary piece to the back of it. I don't want to sell you slots. I don't care about your money. But the fact is, I make my money everywhere else. I'm not trying to make money off a local artist unless it's coming to marketing. And then even I'm not making money off of you. I'm spending that money back on you. And any money that I make is being spent back on the marketing for my artist and myself. I'm going to be honest with you. And the more I market myself, the more you are getting yourself. Like, that's where it comes down to, is that's what I'm trying to explain to everybody is like, when it comes to Summer League, yes, that's something we want to do. Like, that's something, pet project of mine is getting them there, getting some of these other places I work with, without getting myself caught up for saying exacts, but like really trying to showcase local talent and local pieces on every single stage that Vegas has to offer. There's no reason that and shout out to Wags, one of my mentors. There's no reason that the Knights are the only piece that play music in game, and even that, like, that's cool, but there's so much more that can be done with that. There's so much more from inside the building, outside the building, pre-game, all these pieces that can do more. But it's going to take people really taking that ability to work on it, but also taking the risk on themselves. I'm telling y'all right now, I had somebody tell me the other day, I break every fucking rule in the conference, is what they told me for women's basketball. I said, that's cool. I also have all the conference contracts because I break every rule in the conference and I don't care. That's where it comes down to, is if you're willing to take that piece and that risk on yourself, somebody has to be willing to take that risk, because right now nobody's willing to take that risk at any of these places to have something fail. They only will do it if they know it's going to be successful. They're only going to bring in those big names. They're going to bring in these pieces they know are going to do well because they don't want to fail and lose their job. Personally, to me, I'm going to do what I want to make it right. And if I lose my job doing it, fuck it. It's not my problem. Like, I can do something else. Done it before.
I feel that. And I like that. You like that answer? Good.
Oh yeah, I like that answer.
No, I wasn't the cousin. She gonna hate me before I get
All right. So go ahead and let the people know where they can find you at. I feel like this conversation needs to keep going on the pod. Yes, so we need to have you back.
No, for sure.
You know what I mean? I feel like you definitely came through. You gave up for the culture. You told the people what they need to do, how they need to do it, and to stop hitting you in the inbox with just fucking links. You know what I mean? Like,
bro,
do the shit correct.
And the way you just said that, when you send links to me, every time I think somebody's trying to hack me, so I just be blocking people a lot of times. If I don't know, I see a link come, I don't even open it. I'm like, they hacked.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh shit, was that a YouTube link? And I'm like,
oh well,
maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know who I just blocked. It's gone. No, find me at SinCItyThrilla. Pretty much everywhere, anywhere, everywhere. Go and stream Like That. New song just dropped with my guys Caleb Badane and Young Sensei, produced by the Vidco. Just a little taste of the tape, and like, that's not the only sound of the tape. Quicks and I were talking about the other day. Like, it's not the only sound. That's just one of the many sounds. I want to take you on a journey in Vegas with that tape. So a lot to come there. Shout out to my business, PVRE, Pure. Everybody can never figure out how to say it. It's not that hard, guys. It's just a V instead of a U. Edgy or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Shout out to Fire, my other guys, my business, my family there. Really just them. And then Hardine, Swish, Tuesday, everybody else that sponsors makes these things happen, makes it to where we could do it. Appreciate them. Appreciate y'all. Big shout out to y'all. Thanks for having me on. It's been a lot of fun.
Thanks for coming.
No, for sure.
I want you to come back for sure, because this was one of the talks that me and Quick have been talking about for a while. I mean, even when he was just like, yo, hit him up, I was like, I don't know. And then I did, and then it was just like this. You know what I mean? So it was real cool. I thought it was gonna be some shit, because you know how we were just talking about Vegas artists. Mm-hmm. I was thinking like, man, I'm gonna hit this dude up. He ain't even gonna really give a fuck about what I got to say.
No, the thing is like, that's one thing I'll tell you, like, for me on my side, is there's a lot of people in this city who don't care beyond themselves. It's all about me. It's all about this shit. To me, like I want to see everybody win. Like at the end of the day, I really want to see Vegas build something. Coming from next to nothing, like it don't bother me. Like I want to see everybody doing good. It don't hurt me to see you do well. And I want to see that shit. And for me, like everybody will tell you, that's why I don't tell shit about myself because I'm too willing to help people. And that's why I really be staying off of the IG helping people because I will get my ass caught up and spend the rest of my life doing nothing but helping other people. I think you were already following me right at the beginning of the year when I was posting shit, and I was like, "Yep, I've been doing this shit for years now, and just doing everybody else's shit. This is the year to kind of push my shit."
Yep.
But no, I'm always down to come in and vibe and chill and do this. Like energy is a big thing for me. Like if that energy ain't right, y'all had that energy, so I was like, "Okay, cool, we gonna hang."
I'm glad we can facilitate those things. You know what I mean? I don't never want to come with the wrong energy. I don't never want to feel like we, you know what I'm saying, like overbearing or anything like that. But this was definitely a great podcast. I feel like when you come back, I want to just sit down and just really just talk to you.
No, for sure.
Fuck all the other shit. I just want to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we could definitely get to some places. And we definitely have questions and shit like that. We talk about a lot of random things on this podcast. So
yeah, like cousin fucking.
That's that Mississippi shit, boy. I tell you.
Listen, all my Mississippi homies, they gonna be mad.
They gonna be mad at you,
Y'all
nigga,
got
for sitting here and letting them
fucked
say this
up.
shit.
Y'all got
Exposing them
Mississippi
and their cousins,
fucked up.
But
Don't nobody be fucking their cousins.
Everything will be in the description below. Make sure
Mississippi
y'all
like an army.
get the tickets to Lil Durk. Make sure y'all get the Strong Music Festival tickets.
Buy your tickets.
Buy them tickets now. You know what I'm saying? Like
It's tax
this shit is about to go
You
up.
have no excuse.
Facts. You just got your taxes back. Buy them
that's a
tickets.
fact.
And if
too,
you haven't
yeah.
filed yet, go ahead and file. Get
And
your
I ain't
money.
gonna lie to you. When we announce this other artist, everybody gonna go
Oh yeah,
crazy
then they gonna
again.
run. Then they gonna run to get the tickets.
Oh,
And
You
then
heard?
wait for-
Grammy weekend, huh? That's the one
And
you
not
talking
even
about.
he's
just that.
talking
I'm
about-
talking about we got an opener coming in for Durk that's gonna turn some heads. And then I'm gonna be honest, Durk don't go anywhere by himself. So y'all gonna have some fun with this.
Yeah, let's get it.
Let's see.
So,
Durk don't go
trust
nowhere
and
by
believe.
himself.
We're going to have a good time out here March 18th, 2022. We're going to have a fire-ass time. It's fire in Vegas, man. Make sure y'all follow them. Make sure y'all follow us. Make sure y'all follow everybody on the couch. I want to thank everybody for coming through. Shati, my guy Willie, fucking Kalen, goddamn Quick, Alex. Thank y'all, man. So you know what it is, podcast, and we are out. You know what it is.